Dear students, at the first part of the lecture, we were talking about the basis of gender from ethical perspectives. We discussed and classified the terms gender and sex. Now, at the second and last part of this lecture, we are going to ponder on the important terminologies related to gender. The following terms we are going to consider from the text. We will start with the justice approach of ethics, which incorporates the terms gender equality and gender equity. Gender awareness and gender sensitivity are the approaches based on the concepts of virtue, and last but not the least, gender neutral, gender bias, and gender stereotypes eliminate discriminations and promotes common good for the individual as well as society. We shall start with the most hyped concept on gender ethics, that is gender equality. Gender equality does not imply that women and men are the same, but that they have equal value and should be accorded with equal treatment. The state of having the same rights, status, and opportunities as others regardless of one's gender. Gender equality is achieved when women and men enjoy the same rights and opportunities across all sectors of society, including economic participation and decision making, and when the different behaviors, aspirations, and needs of women, men, and other gender categories are equally valued and favored. Gender equality is measured by looking at the representation of all gender in a range of roles. To emphasize, women and girls represent half of the world's population and therefore also half of its potential. Gender equality, besides being a fundamental human right, is essential to achieve peaceful society with full human potential and sustainable development. Moreover, it has been shown that empowering women spurs productivity and economic growth. Unfortunately, there is still a long way to go to achieve full equality of rights and opportunities between men, women, and other gender categories. Therefore, it is of paramount importance to end the multiple forms of gender violence and secure equal access to quality education and health, economic resources, and participation in political life for all gender groups. It is also essential to achieve equal opportunities in access to employment and to positions of leadership and decision making at all levels. Gender equality means equally valuing all the society of both the similarities and differences between all gender categories. Equality doesn't mean that all gender categories will become same. I'm repeating again. Rather, it applies that the equality issues will not depend on how they are born, whether as men, women, or intersex. Consequentially, gender equity is the other ethical perspective of justice that is used to ensure fairness in equality. Gender equity means fairness of treatment for gender categories according to their respective needs. This may include equal treatment or treatment that is different but which is considered equivalent in terms of rights, benefits, obligations, and opportunities of the particular society. It follows the need-based strategy of justice known as maximize the minimum. For example, in South Asian countries, if women are in disadvantaged position, economically more than an affluent or a mediocratic woman, a poor woman must be more disadvantaged. Then again, more than a poor woman, a refugee woman would be in a worse situation. In this case, making policies to give some extra privilege to the refugee woman would be the application of gender equity. So, gender equity is the end goal, and equity is the mean to reach that goal. Equity is a process to lead to gender equality as well as justice as fairness. Thus, when all gender categories will have same rights and opportunities, we may not be in the need of gender equity anymore. But before reaching to the goal, we need to provide extra support to the underprivileged group in respective societies. For example, in Bangladesh, there can be different approaches provided to the transgender or hijra community to pull them out from their destitute situation. The next area the gender ethics concerns about is gender awareness. Gender awareness is an understanding that there are socially determined differences between gender categories based on learned behavior, which affect their ability to access and control resources. It helps in realizing, recognizing, and building consciousness of why gender differences and inequalities exist in terms of roles, responsibilities, experiences, needs, expectation, etc. Gender awareness activities and training includes different kinds of seminar, conferences, workshops, programs from root level to the most extensive total system. On the other hand, gender blind is the conflicting idea of awareness. It is about not realizing consciously or unconsciously, systematically or voluntarily and involuntarily about differences, rights, roles, and opportunities, and a lot more other factors. Gender blind may lead the whole society to become the victim of discrimination and oppression or exclusion of any kind. Gender sensitivity is acknowledging or awareness that subordinations in terms of gender exists in most societies and it is equally harmful for all gender categories. Gender awareness refers to the idea of being aware of the differences and understanding the needs and concerns, while being sensitive requires a particular society to understand the implications and impacts of different policies and programs on a particular gender. Gender sensitivity is not only understanding or acknowledging, but also challenging the immoral social norms in terms of caste, class, race, physical ability, sexual orientation. It also requires understanding of the social issues such as economic, cultural, political. It means consciously recognizing marginalized groups and subordinate status, or any gender, challenging the socially constructed power relation which unusually dominates and discriminates. So, we can say that gender awareness believes that gender is a knowledge production, and sensitivity takes that knowledge to the state of action. Gender sensitivity is a very crucial sense of wisdom, socially, economically, linguistically, identically, and so on. It benefits the whole society by ensuring inclusiveness and keeping gender balance.